was thinking badges.
So I gotta get a new one anyway. I was the absolute last person to get the old one.
Yeah.
And then they rebranded it that night for my exam.
Yeah, I got my stuff in PEI, and it wasn't too much longer. They did the rebranding. Okay, give me all new stuff.
And platform 2, Nail, Darushi, and Dan.
Cool. I like basically. Yes. It'll be pretty fun.
I'm hoping it's going to be flexible on you guys.
Exactly. Yeah, it really is. I just like to have the discussion so we can say we talked about it.
Polite.
Yeah.
Have you decided who wants to sit where?
I put my stuff there, but I don't really care.
Platform 2, the king guest. The table needs your right.
Some people are particular.
Well, they don't like
Again, it's an instance. I don't either. Like I said, we can talk.
My name is Glenn. I figured that by process of elimination. You're the only person I have.
No, you're at a whole new school of people that go around. Hardly working with anybody.
Going to the national PEI.
Yes, same here. And then just in time.
You guys had, you're Ontario?
I'm a former Ontario guy, but I'm
Back to day 6 now of CANPL Nationals. My name is Leonard Miles. I will be commentating this session here this morning. So, for this morning's session, we have the Junior 83 class and Junior 83 men's class and Junior 63 women's class. Just getting started. We're just in the first round of squats here. The time is currently 8 o'clock, Friday, March 13th here in St. John's, Newfoundland, here at the Sheraton Hotel. Here we have Alicia coming out for her opening squat of 120. And nice and easy attempt there. And 3 white lights for her. It is day 6. There is still plenty of lifting left. We have 6 full sessions today, and I believe 4 sessions tomorrow. So there's still plenty of lifting. If you are in the St. John's area, now is a perfect time to get down. Come on down to the Sheraton. It's free admission. We just ask you bring a non-perishable food item, because nothing can compare to actually watching all of this lifting in person. Next up, we have Alyssa Matthews coming out, 125 kg, 275.6 pounds.
This is a national record attempt. I wasn't looking there, Vicky. Thank you. As soon as we don't have a 2.5 kilo increment and we have chips on the bar, we know it must be a national record. Let's get behind her. It's early, but I know you guys have coffee in you. Let's go.
And no lift there. It seems like the spotters may have seen up, down, or something with her knees not being locked. Wonderful spotting crew on this platform today. We got John Cadigan, we got Dustin, we got Noah, we got Mac Rose, and we got Argy. Lifters are all in safe hands here today.
Loaded on 2.
And a nice and easy opener here for Samantha. No, a 2-to-1. It seems like she got a yellow light there for jumping commands.
Need to listen for all the commands. Loaded on 1.
So for those watching at home wondering, the commands are, there's 2 commands to squat. There's squat and rack. So once you unrack the bar, lock your knees, you will have to wait for the head ref to give you a squat command. After you finish the squat, you will have to stand at the top with your knees locked until you get a rack command. Missing either of those commands or going before them will get you a yellow light.
Loaded on 2.
Easy squat there from Michelle. She got a red light for depth. I also thought it looked a little high on my end, but I can only see from one angle. So I have the same angle you guys have on stream, which is to the side of the head judge, and I can also kind of see the right side of the lifter a little bit when the spotters aren't there. But obviously it's more important for the spotters to be there, not for me to see.
And 2 is a good lift. Alien's mobility I can only dream of.
Sarah here opening up a 140. All right, and so with this being our junior class, for those who aren't aware at home, these are all lifters ranging from 19 to 23. And a nice and easy opener there for Alexandra. 3 whites.
Loaded on 2 for Nia.
All competition, we've had some well-experienced spotters keeping the meets moving nice and smoothly, working like an F1 pit crew out here. Here we have Abby Hanrahan. And 2 to 1. Blue light there for knees or a double bounce. Not sure I seen that, but again, the judges have a better view than I have.
Loaded on 2 for Emma. Emma is opening at 130 kilos. For perspective, she weighs 51 and a half kilos, opening at 130.
And a good fight there for Sydney. 3 whites. So with all of these lifters being in the same weight class, it not being a mixed flight like we've previously had, all of these lifters will be directly head-to-head with each other, competing for total. Looking at the scoreboard, Samantha currently has the body weighted advantage. However, she is not on the board from an opener.
Loaded on 2.
And an easy squat there, 3 white lights.
And a good lift on 1. Also going to go back to the top of the order. Watching these juniors makes me really feel I'm old. Loaded on 1. Two to 1. It's a good lift on 2 for Ariel. Dan's going to come up, get her 97.5 on the board. And there we go. We're going to top close. Bar is loaded on 2 for Dan. Loaded on 1 for Lenny.
All right, now we have Naomi coming out for her second. Seems like she might have caught the rack a little bit there on the way out, but that's fine as long as it didn't mess her up too bad. And a nice and easy lift there, rocking all A7 gear aside from the belt. So we do have 3 flights this session. We have 1 flight of women here, and then we have 2 flight of men. So 1 flight of women, 63 juniors, and then 2 flights of men, 83 juniors. So all lifters will do all 3 of their squats before we move on to the next flight, Flight 2 will do all their squats, then Flight 3 will do all their squats before we take a 10-minute intermission and then move on to bench, where we'll repeat the same process and then move on to deads.
Bit of a fight, but referee's given 3 white lights. And he's going to try to chip that national record again at 104 kilos. Again, I want you guys to notice 38.8 kilo body weight. I think one of my legs weighs that. And she's going to squat 104.
And a nice easy squat there for Alyssa.
And another nice lift on 1 for Alicia. Loaded on 1.
Right, here we have Alexa Matthews, coming out for her second attempt at 130. She did go up. You are allowed to go up on a missed attempt. You aren't allowed to go down.
Loaded on 2.
And where she only missed on a technicality, not on strength, it's not uncommon to see people go up anyway, because they'll just focus more on the command. And 3 whites that are on her second. And this is why you will sometimes want to go up on your seconds, because there was no point in wasting another attempt going for 125. Again, especially when everybody here is going to be competing against each other, you're going to want to take what kilos you can get.
What do you guys think these kids in Quebec? Platform 1 for Samantha, platform 2 for Haley.
And unfortunately, no lift there for Samantha.
Bars loaded on 2. All right, Samantha's got 1 more shot. Come back and get that. Get herself on the board. We're going to go 147 on 1 for Alexandra, and I believe her bar is loaded.
So Samantha has missed 2 lifts now, which means she does need to get her 3rd lift to stay in the competition. In order to finish the competition, you need to be able to post a valid total. And in order to be able to post a valid total, you need at least 1 squat, 1 bench, and 1 deadlift.
And another nice looking squat for Haley.
Alexandra's going to come out here, take her time setting up. And a nice squat there.
Bars loaded on 2.
Currently moves her up to 1st place.
Nice looking squat. Weight stays the same for Michelle on 1. Loaded on 1.
Bar is loaded here for Michelle to 147.5 kilos. This is 7.5 up from her last attempt, and this will push her to 1st place. You'll see that it would technically tie 1st place currently. However, Michelle does have the body weight advantage on Alexandra.
That was a nice fight for Zoe.
And a nice squat there. See what the judges say. Left said not deep enough, but 2 white lights is all you need. You need 2 of the 3 judges to agree that it was a good lift, and you can move on. And so, as I said before, Michelle did take over Alexandra's spot on the podium because ties in powerlifting are handled based on weight. So where Michelle came in at a lower body weight and squat the same, the placing would go to her. However, we have Abby coming in here now with 150. And a nice fight there for Abby. 3 white lights. All right, next up we have Sarah Croft coming out with 150. the current provincial squat record for her weight and age class in Nova Scotia, where she hails from, is 145. So if she gets this, she will take the record and move it up by 5 kilos. And a very nice fight of a squat there. Huge fight over on platform 2. So for those who don't know, if you hear anything yelling and nothing happening on stream, there are 2 platforms going here at Nationals. So if you check the CANPL YouTube channel, there should be a playlist there with Nationals, and you should currently see 2 streams live. This one and the other one, which is currently being commentated by Brittany Schlater herself.
Loaded on 2.
And a good fight there for Sydney, 152.5 kilos.
Weight stays the same on 1 for Veronique, and we go to 92.5 for Anael. Loaded on 1.
So Veronique's going to come out and attempt the same weight, potentially going to put her in first, again, due to body weight advantage. And a nice and easy squat there. See what the judges say. 3 white lights. Of course, there was a very nice squat being handled there by Adam Jansen. All right, and as we're getting ready to go into our third squats here, I would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors, SBD Canada, Transparent Labs, who have a booth set up here at Nationals. Lots of hydration, lots of protein bars, lots of stuff keeping our athletes fueled for the day. And a nice squat there for Rose. See the judges, 3 whites. Also like to thank the NLPA, Newfoundland Labrador Powerlifting Association, who've supplied a lot of lifters here for volunteers, as well as a lot of the equipment that's come from local gyms. Inner Strength Fitness, who have a booth set up here at Nationals. Ray and Ryan, great people. If you want to get some powerlifting gear while you're here in the city, not have to worry about shipping, now is the time to do so. Come on down to the Sheridan. They have a booth set up in the back corner of the meet venue with all kinds of SBD gear. And a good squat there for Alicia. Let's see the judges. 3 whites. Also like to thank our sponsors, the Government of Canada and the Government of Newfoundland and Labrador, as well as Alico, whose equipment you see us using, our racks, our plates, and of course the Sheridan Hotel. It wouldn't be powerlifting in Newfoundland without the Sheridan. They've hosted many meets before, many venues, and are always great and accommodating to our lifters. We have a beautiful venue set up here now. All right, here comes Alexa. 135. This will be a 10 kilo PR for her.
Which means she gets to move on to bench. We're going to add little chips over here
And an easy squat there for Alexa. 3 whites. Again, as I said before, it was the right call for her to move up. Strength wasn't an issue. It was just a technicality. Nice and easy squat there for Naomi. All right, next up we have Samantha Black. So Samantha did go up on her second and still missed. Unfortunately, that does mean she is now stuck at 145. She cannot go back down and wait. She can only take this. She has to get this squat in order to stay in the game. If she does not get this squat, she will be disqualified and won't be able to post a total in this meet. Crowd's getting fired up to get behind her here. She needs this squat. And unfortunately, no lift. Good catch there by the spotters. Our spotters and loaders keeping all of our lifters safe here this morning. And a nice fight of a third there for Alexandra. Unfortunately, not enough. Good catch from our spotters and loaders there. All right, here we go with Abby's third attempt squat, 150. Nice fight there. That puts her up to third. Sorry, that was 152, not 150. My apologies. Michelle looking to take the same weight. Again, this will put her at an advantage. Michelle is currently the third lightest lifter in this flight. So having that body weight advantage means all you have to do is tie the total and you would win. Again, just how ties are handled in powerlifting. And let's see what the judges say about that one. Not deep enough and a stepping command. So that is a 2-to-1. Her handler did just point at the jury. I believe he is going to come contest that. So any lifts that are 2-to-1 can be contested at the jury. The jury has the ability to overturn good lifts to bad and bad lifts to good. So whenever you see a lifter get a 2-to-1 lift, usually when you see a lifter get 2 reds, 1 white, their handler will go check with the jury and see what was up. And let's see with Sid here. 155 for her third.
Loaded on 2.
And a good fight there. Good grind. That is a beautiful third attempt selection. 3 white lights. You may notice here that Michelle Dye is now up in second. The jury did overturn her third lift. They did overturn it. They did deem that it was a good lift.
Loaded on 1 for
Veronique here coming out 157.5. Just 2.5 kilos under the Ontario provincial squat record.
Just one right there for Mia today. Good fight. 1 squatter left and flight A.
And a nice fight there. And as you could see from the notification there, Michelle Dye's squat was overturned.
We're going to go to 160 for Sarah.
Sarah looking to take 160. Again, she has already claimed the Nova Scotia provincial record. She claimed that on her last attempt, looking to move that record a little further. This would tie her best ever squat. And unfortunately, no lift there. Good catch from our spotters and loaders. All right, and with that, that does conclude our women's flight. So now we are moving into our first flight of men's 83. We have Alejandro coming out, opening up 170, 374.8 pounds, 375 pounds. And that's an easy opener if I ever seen one. Jacobo Leon coming out for 180. Coming out the all-black SBD singlet, the very nice Team Canada shirts. There with the maple leaf on the arm. And a 2-to-1 there. All right, nice and easy there. It just came off that Alejandro's second squat was overturned into a good lift. I believe there may have been some issues there with the scoring table, as we are only on the first squats. He hasn't taken a second attempt squat, so I'm curious if they are overturning his first attempt.
That looked like a good opening attempt for Kiera on 112.5, please, for Olivia.
Owain Wilson coming out now, 210 kilos, 463 pounds.
Loaded on 2.
And there we go. Jacobo Leon's attempt 1 was overturned to a no lift. I believe is what that first overturn was supposed to be. And Alejandro's just dropped down to a 70. So yeah, what happened there was they accidentally got the overturn wrong. They overturned Alejandro's second attempt, which he hasn't taken, into a good lift, when they meant to overturn Jacobo's attempt into a no lift. And this is, as I said before, a 2-to-1 does mean the jury is able to intervene if they disagree with one of the judges' rulings. Francis Dubois coming out with 227, 500 pounds as an opener. As an 83-kilo junior. And a nice, easy squat there for an opener. Almost 3 times his body weight, 3 white lights.
Francis over there, repping one of our advanced sponsors in his singlet and sleeves and shirt and get up. Loaded on 2 for Maria. Loaded on 1 for Samuel.
Samuel Marchand coming out here now, 235. Hailing from Nova Scotia. So because all of these men are competing against each other, it does give people in the second flight a bonus coming out of the gate. Again, as you would need to total the most or tie and be lightest to get on the podium, people going into the second flight of men are going to have the advantage of knowing what the first flight did. This will especially make an advantage towards deadlifts when you can make attempt changes to your openers and your other attempts. And an easy squat there for Carl. 3 whites. Nice and deep squat. Jacobo is going to come out and retake 180 here, see if he can clean up what the judge, and the jury didn't like. Again, this was a 2 white lift. However, the jury seen something they did not like. They must have agreed with that other judge on the call. So, as said before, he does need to get a squat to get on the board. Looks nice and stable there on the walkout. Three racks, see what the judges say. 3 rides jumping the rack command. So he does need to focus up here and get this last squat in, or else he will not be able to continue.
And his bar is loaded. And we're loaded on two for Ainsley.
Alejandro coming out here with 182.5, 402 pounds. This is 12.5 kilos up from his last attempt.
Wings light. Referees, say 3 white lights.
And the national record for the squat in the men's 83 weight class is 295.
Loaded on 1.
I'm sure looking at some of the openers there on the third attempts, we will see some people going for that today.
Weight goes up to 142 for Neha.
Dylan Reed taking his time to get set up here.
Oh yeah, let's go!
Nice fight on the squat there. Let's see what the judges say. 3 whites, that's what I figured. Nice deep, nice stable squat.
Loaded on 1.
Got a Wayne Wilson here coming out 210 kilo, 2.5 kilo PR here. Sorry, 225 kilos.
92.5 kilos for her.
And this is a 2.5 kilo PR.
Loaded on 2.
3 white lights there. Nice and easy squat.
242.5, please, for Francis. Loaded on 1.
Francis Dubois coming out 242.5 kilo here. 15 kilo jump onto his second attempt.
115, please, on 2 for Kiera. Little bit of a fight, but it is a good one.
That was a good second attempt. Don't know how much more he has in him. You do run your risk of burning yourself up on your second attempt. However, there is plenty of competition left to make it up. Should you miss your third, you do have bench and you do have deadlift. And deadlift is where we see a lot of people making big jumps to swing for those podium positions. Samuel Marchand here, 250 on his second attempt. This will move him up 2 positions and move him into first. Again, where the lifters have only squat so far, podium in this beginning round will be determined by whoever squats heaviest. However, that podium will get shifted around coming into bench, and then lifting order will not matter quite the same because, again, a lighter squatter may just be a heavier bencher, and that is a good time for them to make up some podium positions, make up some placing positions as well. Here we have Karl Pavsik again, hailing from Quebec. 255, 17.5 kilos up from his second attempt. 5 kilos off of his personal best. Looked a little unsteady there at the top, but judges say 3 white lights. All right, Jacobo's coming out here now for his last attempt at 180. He has to get this. He's shown on the last attempt he does have the strength for it. He just jumped the command. So we need to make sure, he needs to make sure that he gets this last attempt. Struggling a little there on the walkout. Those do appear to be A7s. I'm curious if they're A7 rigor mortises. Currently have a pair, and I completely understand the walkout struggle. They are a tight, stiff sleeve.
Bars loaded on 2. Just checking to make sure things were correct.
Again, it looks easy. He's shown that he could squat this before. Oh, wait. Seems, from what I heard, it seems he listened to the commands. 3 white lights on his last attempt. He is able to stay in the competition there. Here comes Alejandro, fired up, ready to go. Shoes are undone there, and I do believe that under the new rulings that the jury could call him on that. Two to 1. Caught on depth there. Head judge didn't see it, but from that head judge position, it is very hard to tell depth. Especially depending on lighting, lifter's build, and knee sleeve, it can be very hard for the head judge to see the same depth that the side referees can see, which is where you get these red, white, red calls. Dylan is timing out. So, to explain power... So I'm not sure if you could hear the commentator then, our in-house commentator, to explain what's going on. Dylan is going to time out here on his second attempt. So for him timing out on his second attempt, it does give the spotters and loaders an extra minute to breathe. It does also give his competitors an extra minute of rest time. The bar will be loaded for his attempt. The full minute clock will run, but as I said, just gives everybody a minute to regain themselves. This is a very, very small flight. We're looking at a 7-lifter flight here. 7 lifters is a very, very fast-paced flight. They split the men into 2 flights of 7, which is an interesting decision. I do believe that the max you're allowed to have in a flight is 14. I may be wrong, and it may be 12. And if it is 12, that makes sense of the decision they made here. But I believe it's 14, so it's interesting to see them split it this way. Here we have Owen coming out for a 10 kilo PR, 232.5 kg. And a good squat there. We'll see what the judges say. 2-1. Loaded up here for Francis Dubois, 247.5, 5 kilo Pierre. And a good fight there. And as I said, with this being a 7-person flight, these guys aren't getting a lot of time to rest before they have to squat again. Having just an extra minute or 2 minutes makes a huge difference. So by Dylan timing out earlier, it does give Francis, Owen, Samuel, and Carl another minute to just breathe. And a fight here for Samuel. Unfortunately, no lift. Spotter's jumping in there. Carl is going to come out with 265, 584.2 pounds, almost 600 pounds, 3 times his body weight for his 3rd attempt squat. This will be a 5 kilo PR here for Carl if he gets this. And he does. That was a very, very easy squat. 3 whites from the judges. With that, we are now going to move into our third flight of squats for the day. So this is the second flight of men's. So here we have Bo coming out for 225 kilos, 496 pounds. And this is what I mean earlier about having the advantage of the second flight. On his first attempt here, this has potential to push him up 3 placings. So on his first attempt, he's looking at the possibility here of going right to 5th. And 3 whites. So now he moves up to 5th just on his opener. Leroy Messina from Ontario coming in with 230. Wearing the Titan singlet. You don't see a whole lot of people in Raw wearing Titan. You see more Titan in equipped. However, they do have gear for both. And an easy squat attempt there. 3 white lights. Putting 240 on the bar now for Keeming Fan. Again, the world record sorry, the national record squat for these men's weight class is 295. We are only on our third attempt, and we are at 240. So it is likely, whether we see the records fall or not today, unsure, but it is likely we see some of these guys bat for that record.
Look pretty good. 3 white lights. Weight stays the same for Olivia. Loaded on 2.
And an easy squat there. All right, 245 here for Claude Alexandra. Coming out here with a 245, 540. Again, these are 83 kilo juniors, so these are between 19 and 23. Very, very wide stance here. And such a wide stance allows him to get nice and deep. 3 white lights here. We do have a record attempt going down over on platform 2. The crowd is getting fired up. So we have Camilo coming out here with a 250 kilo squat, 2.5 kilos off of his personal best. And an easy squat there. Move him all the way up to second place right now. And a nice opener there, 260.
Good lift on 1 for 270, please, on 1. Okay, we missed the last second. She's going to take another run at it.
Now we are going into our last opener of Flight B, Laurent.
Loaded on 2. Loaded on 1.
Quebec has had a strong showing, especially in the junior category and sub-junior categories this national so far. Many, many strong lifters coming out of Quebec.
Not quite there.
See, nice steady walkout here. And a very, very nice squat. 595 pounds, almost 600 pounds here, folks.
Loaded on 2. Loaded on 1.
Bo taking his time, getting nice and set up there under the bar. And let's see, I believe that will be 3 white lights. Nice and deep, nice and steady. The only thing that's a little weird with commentary, again, I can't see depth amazing. I see the angle you guys see, but I also cannot hear commands. So in the event lifters do jump the commands, I usually can't tell, again, just because of the headset. Here we have Leroy coming out, getting fired up for his second attempt.
Loaded on 2.
This is 20 kilos up. From all the records I have here as well, this is 25 kilos up from his last competition. 25. Dead on, sorry, his last PR. And he gets it, so we will definitely see a PR attempt from Leroy here moving into the thirds.
2 by 2.5, please, on 1.
252.5 coming up next.
Loaded on 2.
And a nice attempt there.
It's a really good looking second over here on 1.
Very nice second.
And he gets a good lift. We're going to go 262.
All right, here we have Camilo coming out for 262.5, 10 kilo PR. This will also be a new Nova Scotia provincial record. Nova Scotia's record currently sitting at 260. And, oh, no lift there. Stayed with the bar, though, however, kept the spotter safe, kept himself safe. When you do miss, it is important that you stay with the bar. You don't want to be dumping all of this weight back onto the spotters. Stick with it, and they will help get you out of that hole. That is exactly what they're there for. Seems like his knee did just come too far forward. It looks like his heel might have lifted, and his weight may have shifted. Curious to see where he goes from here. And a nice squat there. Olivier Bolduc coming out here now. 272, 600 pounds for his second attempt. Let me say that again. This is 600 pounds for his second attempt. Just 12.5 kilos under the national record. Made a 12.5 kilo jump from his first to his second, within batting range of that record. Maybe not. No lift there. Good catch from our spotters and loaders.
Bar is loaded on one. Let's go. For 9 in the morning.
All right, Laurent here. Nice, strong-looking walkout. And a good fight there on his second. 285 kilo.
Bars loaded on one.
All right, here we have Bo coming out for his third attempt, 245. $245 up 7.5 from his last. 540 pounds. And a very, very nice fight. That is a very good third attempt selection. Commentary in the building does seem to have switched off. It seems like meet director Larry Walsh is currently on the mic emceeing this event.
And bars loaded on one. On deck is Leroy, the horse Camilo.
All right, Kiming Fan here coming back out for coming out for his third attempt. 260 here, 5 kilo PR, up 7.5 from his last.
And that's a good lift, 2-1. Both bar 262.5 for Camilo. Oliver's on deck, Claude and Sanders in the hole.
Bars loaded for Leroy, 260. Getting nice and fired up here. Taking his time. Very, very nice fight there. Unfortunately, no lift. Hit that sticking point and wasn't able to get past it. Camilo is coming back out, taking 262.5 again, shooting for it on his third. Again, I believe just shooting for that Nova Scotia provincial record here. Nice to come home with a record from your province. will also move him up to 4th if he does get this. Fourth with a very big deadlift opener planned, so he does have potential here to make some moves on the podium. And a very, very nice squat. It was definitely there the second time. 3 white lights.
Didn't even need our yelling. 272.5, please, on the bar for Olivier.
272.5 for Olivier. This is, again, 600 pounds even. Well, 600.8. Close enough to call 600 pounds. Rounded up to 601. Again, as an 83 junior, everybody. 83 kilo junior. Rocking the previous SBD line, the purple. Actually, it may not be, it may have been 2 lines ago now. I believe the last one was green. Getting nice and steady under that bar. And a good squat. Let's see what the referees say. See what the judges say. 3 white lights there.
275, please, for Claude Alexander.
Olivier was also squatting in flats, which isn't something you see super often. It's not uncommon, but most lifters do tend to lift in heeled lifting shoes. Just allows you to set up that little bit more stable.
3 minutes to lifting here on 2. No more changes over the ellipse on 2.
Claude getting super fired up here. 275 on the bar. 5 reds. Walkout seems nice and stable there. And a big fight, but just unfortunately not there. It's not there today, however, it is there soon.
Squats of the 83 juniors.
Spotters and loaders making sure everything's loaded up, nice and tight, all ready to go for our last squat for Laurent. This would be 290. This would be a Quebec provincial record. Unfortunately, nobody attempting the national record today on squats here. However, as I said, Laurent shooting for that provincial record. This will move it up by 4.5 kilos. And unfortunately, again, not there. Good catch from the spotters and loaders. That is a lot of weight for our spotters and loaders to catch. That is 600 pounds. All right, our spotters and loaders are going to strip the bar down. We're going to get ready, move into a quick intermission. We have 10 minutes before the next session starts. So I'm going to hop off the mic for a quick 10 minutes, and I will be back with you guys for when bench starts.
bring it back, 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 bring it up, up. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it bring it back, bring it up, up. Bring it
All right, we are back. We are 40 seconds out now from our first attempt here in the bench press section of our competition. So we are back to the women's 63 junior class. They will be starting their benching. We're going to start with Alexandra opening up at 67.5 kilos, 148 pounds.
Top of the seconds with 50 kilos for Anel on 2. Loaded on 2.
I believe they're just double checking the weights there. Yep, they just gave the bar is loaded call there for platform 1. Alexandra can come out here and open up with 67.5. And a nice bench there. 3 white lights, good lift.
67 stays on the bar on 1. Bar is loaded. 55 on 2. Loaded on 2. You are loaded on 1.
Does seem like there is a little bit of technical issues here on 1.
Oh, we are not loaded on 1.
So bar is going to be loaded up to 70.
Good lift on 2. Because Samantha didn't render a squat, she is removed from the rest of the competition. So her attempt just accidentally didn't get deleted. All right, 70 kilos on 1 for Alicia.
Yeah, so what happened there was Samantha's attempt was accidentally put in at 0, despite the fact that she bombed out of the competition, couldn't continue. So rather than putting in nothing for an attempt, they put in 0, which is technically nothing, but it was an attempt to put in. So it did just mess up the rack order there a little bit. But now we are into Alicia opening with 70 kilos.
And you know what? It was a good lift on 2.
And a nice easy attempt there for Alicia.
Good lift on 1. 72.5 kilos on the bar on 1 for Noemi. And the bar is loaded.
72.5 for Noemi here, loaded up.
And it's a good lift on 2. And yes, a good lift on 1. 75 kilos on 1 for Michelle.
And a good lift. 75 kilos here, loaded up for Michelle. National record for women's 63 bench is 108 kilos.
Loader on 1.
Michelle coming out here, just explaining how she wants a handoff. So the back spotter is responsible for handing off the bar to the lifters. When it comes to some of these weights, it can take a lot of energy, a lot of strain on the shoulder joint to just take it out of the rack. So a lot of lifters will get a handoff. Basically, as you're going to see here coming up with Dustin, the back spotter will just take the weight, guide it out above the lifter's chest, and then let them handle just the lifting part. So as you can see, guides it out, steps away, and now it is all in the lifter's control. And a nice easy bench there. 3 white lights.
Loaded on 2. Loaded on 1. Holy smokes. She's like the body weight of a big toddler and she just lifted like a whole person.
Alrighty, Sarah Croft here, 80 kilos. The provincial record for Nova Scotia, if I did just see it quickly before my screen refresh, provincial record for Nova Scotia is 87 and a half. Definitely has potential there to shoot for that with how that first moved. Alexa Matthews coming out here, 82 and a half kilos. $88 kilos, provincial record for Alberta.
That is one soft touch. Good lift.
All right, let's see what the judges say there. 3 white lights.
2 and a good lift on 1. Loaded on 1.
Rose coming out now with also 82 and a half kilos. And a nice opener there for Rose. A lot of lifters taking a weight they know they're comfortable with, a weight they know they can do easily. Just because, again, it is important that you get on the board. If you don't have a squat, you can't. Or if you don't have a bench, you won't be able to continue into the deadlifts, as I said earlier this morning. Sydney here, opening up 85 kilos.
Good lift on 2. Starting 3rd attempts.
And a good bench there by the look. Let's see what the judges say. 3 white lights.
Flight B, platform 2, we are starting 3rd attempts.
Veronique coming out now for 90 kilos.
Loaded on 1.
Looking to jump 8 places on the podium. Again, that's not super accurate right now as this is only her first attempt to bench, so it does technically put her behind by all the kilos of benching, whereas everybody else has a bench in. So we'll talk more on the podium when we get to seconds and thirds. And a good bench there. Abby Hanrahan coming out here now, 92 and a half kilos, just 5 kilos behind the Newfoundland record. And here you could see projected.
Loaded on 2.
However, projected lifts only tell part of the story. Doesn't factor in what's there on the day. And 3 whites there for Abby, a good lift. Puts her all the way up to second place now, just trailing behind 2.5 kilos behind Veronique there. Once again, like to take a minute. We'll let Alexandra go here first before I give my little sponsor speech again. 72.5 kilos. Oh, good fight. See? Should be. And 3 white lights. Good lift. Once again, I'd like to take a minute to thank our sponsors, SBD Canada, who you see most of the athletes wearing for singlets. Transparent Labs, as I said before, have a booth here set up, keeping our athletes fueled and hydrated through the lifts, also keeping our spotting and loading team fueled. I've seen a lot of spotters and loaders with Transparent Labs protein bars, as well as Inner Strength. Inner Strength products, they have a booth here as well, providing great powerlifting equipment, quality customer service to all lifters all throughout Canada. Ray and Ryan are lovely people. 75 kilos here for Alicia. And a good lift there for Alicia. 3 white lights. Michelle Dye looking to make a big jump here, or looking to make a jump here up to 4th with an 80 kilo pull. Michelle, who had a great lift this morning with her squats. Hailing from BC, I believe. And see what they say here. 3 white lights, good lift. 80 kilos loaded up now for Noemi. Quebec national record here is 101.5. Really digging her back into that bar, making sure she's nice and stable. And a nice and fast bench there. Good lift. Spotters and loaders quickly getting everything set up for the next lifter. Again, shout out to our spotters and loaders, keeping our lifters safe and keeping this meet running smoothly. All right, Sarah Croft coming out now for 85 kilos. Nice and easy attempt there. Alexa Matthews, 87.5 kilos.
And we got another good lift on 2. 2 benches left on 2.
7.5 kilo PR here, 5 kilos up from her last attempt. And unfortunately, no lift.
Not right there. On 1.
Rose going up 5 from her last attempt, going for a 5 kilo PR here.
And 2 left to lift on 2. Last plate a bench press on 2.
And a nice press there. 3 weights.
Lift on 1, lower on 2. Loaded on 1.
Sydney Wilson coming out here for 90 kilos on her second attempt. Looking to really fight for that second place podium position as of right now.
Good fight on 2. 3 white lights. Gonna go back to 55 kilos to start up plate B on 2.
And unfortunately, no lift there.
Take another run at it. Loaded on 2. Loaded on 1.
All right, Abby looking to move up 2.5 kilos here to 95. Once again, the Newfoundland record is 97.5.
And we're off to a good start on 2.
I believe it may be Abby's, but I'm not totally sure. I will fact check that.
Loaded on 2. Look pretty easy.
And 3 white lights.
Weight stays the same on 1. Loaded on 1.
No, I was wrong. That is not the 97.5, the 63 kilo bench record is currently held by Mackenzie Rose, one of our spotters on this platform. Back from when she was a junior. Ronique Dora here, 95 kilos. And with ease.
And good on 2. Good on 1. Weight stays the same on 2. We go back to 75 kilos on 1. Loaded on 2. Loaded on 1.
75 kilos here, loaded up for Alexandra.
Starting third attempt.
Third attempts here now on bench.
And it's a good lift on 2.
And unfortunately, no lift here for Alexandra. I'd like to take a minute again to thank our sponsors, the Newfoundland Labrador Powerlifting Association, CANPL, Alico, Government of Newfoundland and Labrador, Government of Canada, and the Sheridan Hotel for so graciously hosting a bunch of rowdy and hungry powerlifters for a week. All kinds of amazing lifting going down this week. Still almost 2 full days left of lifting. Still plenty to watch, plenty to see.
Looked like a pretty easy opener.
80 kilos here for Alicia.
Weight stays the same on 2. Lower on 2. And good lift on 1. 6 for 6 so far. 82.5 from Michelle. Loaded on 1.
And 82.5 here for Michelle Dye, making it look nice and easy. As you can see at the bottom of our scoreboard there as well is the average GL points per province currently. So right now, Alberta is leading with 80.5 GL points.
4 lifters to change opening attempts on 1. Play B.
Followed by New Brunswick, Quebec, Ontario, and then BC. Naomi coming out here now with 85 kilos on the bar. Gonna move up 2 positions. And good attempt there.
Another 6 for 6 so far.
She is, as our as our MC just said, she is 6 for 6. One of 6 lifters so far. Sorry, one of 3 lifters so far. By the end of this round of bench press, we will see, potentially we will have 6 lifters going 6 for 6 into deadlifts. No missed attempts, having great days. Alexa here coming out 87, retaking 87.5. Just 0.5 off of the Alberta provincial record. However, she cannot take that chip here at the national level. And let's see what the judges have to say about that one. 2-1. Right seems like they had some heaving or butt lift. Not sure what it was. From my angle, it looked like it may have been a little bit of heaving. But heaving's also a very hard call to make. Sarah Croft coming out here, 90 kilos. This will be a new Nova Scotia provincial record. The Nova Scotia provincial record currently sitting at 87.5. Very close grip on the bench. And let's see here, 2-1. Heaving, misposition, or butt lift, butt or foot. I'm curious now to see what the call was there, because it did look like she may have moved a little bit there on the bench. It almost, to me, looked like a double bounce off the chest. Sydney coming out, re-attempting 90 kilos here. Looking to move herself back onto the podium. 90 kilos, 198.4 pounds. Almost 1.5 times her body weight. And a much, much better fight there. 2-1. Left calling depth. Letting it up to 92.5 here for Rose.
And a good lift on 2. Loaded on 1, no more change to openers.
92.5, 203.9 pounds. And unfortunately, that is no lift.
Not quite there. Language on the platform. Loaded on 2.
Abby looking to tie the provincial record here with 97.5. Once again, Mac Rose, our spotter there. This is currently her provincial record. Had this not been at the national level and been at a provincial level, she would have been able to chip this record. However, the only records you could chip at nationals are national records. See here, taking her time, getting nice and set up. You have a minute to get the start command from the head judge. And a good fight there for Abby. 3 whites for Abby. 6 for 6 so far for the day. Veronique getting ready here to take the same weight again. This will be a provincial record for her. The record in Ontario is currently 95 kilos. This would tie her PR bench as well. And a solid fight there. 3 whites. All right, we are going down. We are going up, sorry. Moving into our second flight, Flight B, the first flight of the men's.
I'm getting tired on 1.
Men's 83? Yes, the men's 83. Moving into our first flight of men's 83. Again, these are small flights for the men. They are 2 7-person flights, so they are going to be going quick. And just a quick view of the standings. Veronique currently in the lead. All right, Alejandro here, opening up 110 kilos. And an easy opener. A nice and easy opener there. Seems like he is talking to his handler about something. Owain Wilson here, coming out for 125.
Thanks for the help, spotters. Just taking another run at it. 75 kilos on 2.
right, Jacobo Leon here opening up 130. A little behind here because he did have to take 3 attempts at his openers. Looking to hopefully make up some placing points here. Gets his opener though. Great start to the bench. Dylan Reed here, 130. Little bobble there on the chest. And he gets 2 calls there. Seems like his head may have come off the bench there. Here we have Carl coming out for 150.
Loaded on 2.
25 seconds left here on the clock. And an easy bench. 3 white lights, just how in openers should be moving. Francis here opening up 155 kilos. Three whites, nice easy bench there. All right, and here we have Samuel Marchand opening up with 165 kilos. The current Nova Scotia record is only 155, so he is looking to claim this record on his opener and move all the way up to second. And a good lift. He moves all the way up to second, losing only to Karl Pavsik on body weight currently. Karl weighing in 82.25. Francis Dubois weighing in 82.99. Sorry, Samuel Marchand weighing in at 82.85. The lifting sheet wasn't after updating yet. And 2-to-1 no lift, unfortunately.
They were very coordinated demands, so I'm not sure if that may be loaded on 2.
Seems like the head ref there confirming it was a command issue.
Loaded on one.
Bar is loaded for Dylan Reed, looking to try and take another attempt at 130. Again, he has to get one of these benches in order to stay in the competition. And 3 white lights, nice and easy there on the board.
Good fight.
As I said before, jury can overturn lifts if they are 2 reds or 2 whites. However, a 3 red or a 3 white lift is considered a good lift and cannot be touched by the jury. Not that they'd have any reason to, just wanted to fill you guys in on how that works with 3 whites. Owen Wilson coming out 132 and a half. 5 kilo PR here for him. Alberta provincial record currently at 172.5. National record for the bench for these guys is 197 even.
Looked like a good second there for Owen. Yeah, referees agree. Loaded on 2. Loaded on 1.
140 kilos here. And a beautiful second attempt there.
75 on 1 for Carl and 77.5 on 2 for Julianne.
157.5 for Carl here on his second attempt, up 7.5 from his last.
Loaded on 2.
And a nice easy attempt there for Carl.
2 on 1 and 2 like on 2. Weight stays the same on 2. Goes up a little bit to 165 on 1. Loaded on 2. Loaded on 1.
165 here for Francis. And a nice second attempt there for Francis. Samuel Marchand taking his time here, getting nice and set up on this 172.
87.5 on 2 for Michaela.
Again, this will be a Nova Scotia provincial record as he's already claimed that on his last. 2 to 1.
Left on 1, sorry. Loaded on 2. Alejandro would like to repeat 117.
All right, we are at the top of the thirds already for bench for flight B. So we are now currently loading the bar to 117.5 for Alejandro to take another crack at it. Like to shout out to all the Top Set Media guys you see on the float here as well. Making sure they get all kinds of videos and pictures of these lifters. Handling the multimedia for this this competition, so lifters have plenty of cool pictures to check out. They're also the ones handling all of the commentary gear that I'm currently sitting behind that I do not understand, and I'm glad I don't have to. Easy second there for Alejandro. 3 white lights, good lift.
155 on 1 for Dylan, and our last bench presser of this session on 2, 2.5 kilos, and the bar is loaded. Loaded on 1.
Dylan coming out here nice and ready. 135, 5 kilos up from his last. And unfortunately, no lift there.
Fighting on the 1, but not right there. Race is the same for Wayne. 2 lifters. Change opening attack.
Gonna keep the weight the same. Spotters and loaders just gonna tighten up the collars, make sure nothing came loose.
Platform's gonna get changed out on 2, and we're gonna get a 10-minute clock started. Flight A, platform 2, deadlifts. You got 6.5 minutes to change opening attacks.
Coach telling him to make sure he gets his chest nice and high, set up high on his neck. The higher you can set your chest, obviously the less travel that bar has to have, but you still have to make sure the elbows pass the shoulders below parallel in order to make sure you hit elbow depth, because you will get a no lift if you do not. One of the many, many technicalities you have to keep in mind and keep an eye out for during the bench press. And 3 white lights there. That was a good lift. Showing some love to the crowd. Showing some love probably to family and friends who are out here supporting him. All right, Jacobo Leon coming out here for his 3rd attempt bench, 145. And unfortunately, no lift there. Next up, Karl Pavzik. 165.5. No more changes for Flight C for their opening benches. Karl Pavzik, hailing from Quebec, just 10 kilos under the provincial record here. Again, 197, the national record for the 83 junior men's bench press. And that's 3 whites. Nice lift there. 170 going on the bar now for Francis Dubois. After that, our final benchel, Samuel Marchand, will be attempting 177.5. And a nice strong fight there. Beautiful third bench for Francis. Samuel Marchand here, as I said, 177.5 kilos. Once again, looking to move that Nova Scotia record he has claimed earlier. And unfortunately, no lift. Head ref called for the bar to be re-racked. Now loading the bar to 127.5 for Claude. Bars loaded.
1 minute, 15 seconds to change opening attempts on platform 2.
Platform 2 getting ready to head into deadlifts. Easy opener here for Claude. Pushing him all the way up to 4th already.
40 seconds to change opener, sliding platform 2. Loaded on 1.
A lot of issues seem to be going on here with trying to figure out where we are to in the order. Olivier coming out here for... No, sorry, Francis. Stream says Olivier. I'm not sure who's lifting, actually. I believe it is Olivier. My screen's saying Francis, but that is incorrect. Good lift there. Seems like the stream overlay is just a little behind there. Sorry for that, everybody. It seems like we are back now, though. 150 kilos for Camilo. 330.7 pounds. And a good bench. 3 white lights. Bar is loaded for Bo. 152.5 kilos here.
Just over 1 minute lifting here on platform 2.
157.5 kilos here for Leroy.
Is opening with 100 kilos over here on 2. Bars loaded on 1. And he's
Looking to jump him up 8 places. But again, where this is first bench, placing isn't super accurate again because these people are technically 100 kilos behind, 150 kilos behind on the podium as they haven't had a bench attempt yet. So that's why there is such a big jump here for him getting this bench. This would put him in 6th, I believe. Nice and easy bench there. Okay, the judges say, just waiting for the center light. 3 white lights, up to 6th. Laurent coming in with 165, 363. Just letting the head spotter know what he wants for a handoff. Nice and easy bench attempt there. Kiming Fan here coming out 175 kilo opener. 22 kilos off of the national record. And this is just his opener, folks. Telling the head spotter he doesn't want a handoff. He's in control of it himself. Back nice and chalked up so he could dig in nice and good to that bench. Setting up nice and high on those traps.
Loaded on 2.
And a nice and easy bench attempt there. 2-1. Left judge may have seen some lift there.
We're missing 1 spotter and loader on platform 2. If you hear me, we've started. Loader on 1.
Here we go, Claude again, 135. This will tie his PR.
It's the same on 2 for Emma. Loaded on 2.
Nice and easy there.
And a good second attempt. Good lift on 2. 115 on 2 and
Olivier
5 on 1.
looking to move up to 4th here with 155. And a beautiful second attempt there for Olivier. Load the bar up to 160 here for Camilo. This will give him the Nova Scotia bench record. And a nice attempt there for Camilo. Giving him a new provincial bench record. Bo coming out here now, 162.5. Up 10 kilos from his last attempt. Best ever bench, 160. I believe, looking at my stats here, this is Bo's 7th meet. And a nice fight there. 2-1, no lift. Spotters may have seen something. 2 yellows leads me to believe his butt probably lifted off of the bench. Common thing when you're driving through your legs, if you're not set up right and you're not careful, it's very easy to lift your butt up. It's very common when you are trying to use leg drive. If you push your feet into the ground and push up, which is the thing you would think to do, it could cause your butt to raise, whereas it's more common to cue yourself to push your feet forward. Or 167.5 here, sorry, for Leroy. And a good fight there for Leroy. Good second attempt. 175 for Laurent. 2 lifters left to the second bench. Just Laurent and Keeming Fan. Getting nice and ready. Taking his time to get nice and set up there. As I say, you have a minute. You do not have a minute to complete the lift. You have a minute to get the start command. As long as you get the start command within time, it doesn't matter if the timer runs out. And nice and easy there for Laurent. Keeming Fan, 180.
All right, 107 for Andy is loaded. Remember, everything now is just more
180 here, 396.8. And let's see, 2-1.
We are starting for attempts on 1 with 140.
All right, Claude here with 140, currently at a 400 even total. And a good fight there. Let's see. 3 white lights. Very nice third attempt selection there from coaches and handlers. Olivier coming out with 160 here. Looking to move himself up onto that podium. A very, very easy lift there for a third attempt. Pushes him up to third. Good lift. Truong coming out now. 2.5 kilo PR. 10 kilos up from his last. Sorry, 10 kilos up from his first. Reattempting his last. 162.5. Good fight there. Good press. 3 white lights. Once again, I'd like to take a moment to thank all of our volunteers, our jury, our score table, our refs, our judges, our commentary, our MC, and everybody working behind the scenes to keep this meet running smoothly. Powerlifting is nothing without volunteers, and it is always great to give back to the sport when you can. Camilo looking to add to the provincial record here on bench, looking to move it by 10 kilos. That is the Nova Scotia provincial record at 155. That was a good lift. Leroy coming out 170, 374.8 pounds. Leroy making sure the bench and everything's all settled up. Does seem like there's some issues there with the scoring table. Hopefully that didn't take him too out of the zone. I'm not sure what they've seen. They said something about the weight being 170, but that's what's loaded on the bar and on the score sheet. Let's see here. And a beautiful fight. 3 white lights. That is a perfect third attempt. Laurent looking to move the Quebec provincial record again by another 5 kilos. 10 kilos up from his best. Looking to really solidify that first place position going into deadlifts. Looking to make sure it's all good. But again, anything could get turned upside down in deadlifts. Currently, second place, Kiming Fan is opening 20 kilos heavier than Laurent. So it's still anyone's game at this point, folks. There was some speed off the chest with that one. 3 white lights. Last bench for this morning. We have 185 kilos, up 7.5, or up 5 from his last attempt. 7.5 kilo PR. Kim Fan coming out here to finish off our bench. As I said before, after this bench, we will take a 10-minute intermission, and then we will get into deadlifts. Don't go anywhere, folks. There's still plenty of lifting here today.
Load it on 2.
He does not get the start command. He has 3 seconds now to get set up and get the command. And unfortunately, he times out. There was something there that the judges didn't want to see. So that does give Laurent a 20 kilo lead going into deadlifts. As I said before, we are now going to go into a 10-minute intermission before we move into deadlifts. Standings for females going into deadlift. Veronica Dorr is currently leading with deadlift opener. And Laurent is currently leading going into deadlift for the men. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will be back shortly. Here are the team standings for nationals so far. With 66 lifters, Alberta's currently batting an average of 81.34 points, followed by Quebec at 80 and New Brunswick at 79.8. Apologies for the delay, folks. Just getting back into it. As you can see, we are at the bottom now of deadlifts in the first flight. Bottom of first round deadlift, sorry. Deadlift openers. Everyone so far has hit their openers. Sydney now opening 160. Deadlift world, or deadlift provincial record, sorry, deadlift national record for these women is 198.5. And an easy opener there for Sydney.
The bar is ready for Abby. Three white lights on two. The bar is loaded.
And nice easy opener there for Abby.
Abby gets 3 whites. Here comes Nia. Nia is opening up with exactly 3 times her body weight. 3 times her body weight, that's just her opener. Here comes Nia.
Here comes Michelle Dye, 165. Looking to bump her up 7 positions. Like I said, these are just the openers. So podium positionings are a little weird right now because many of these people just aren't on the podium yet. Or aren't on the scorecard yet because they haven't got their deadlift in. And that was speedy. 3 white lights. She has plenty more to go with how fast that came off the floor. Veronique coming out now to start this off, looking to pull herself right into first place.
Bars ready. Bars ready for Kira. Platform 2. Then Haley, then Yuma. Three white lights on 1. Three white lights on 2.
Alexandra coming at 142. Starting off the beginning of the seconds. 142 is going to be the weight on the bar actually for the next 4 lifters, giving these spotters a nice break. All they have to do is just tighten the bar up.
Here comes Hal. Ready on 1, Alexandra. Bars ready on 2. Yuma. 3 white lights on 1.
Noemi coming out here now for 142.5. Again, national record for these women, 198.5.
Oh, yeah, Yuma. 3 whites. Noemi. 3 white. Emmy
3 white
with
lights.
10 white lights.
Nice and easy deadlifts here.
The bar is ready, Rose. Platform 1. La bar est chargée for Rose.
All right, here we go. Sarah Croft. Again, 142.
Kilos, platform 1. After Sarah comes Alicia, then Alexa. And that's 3 white lights for Sarah Croft. Here comes Maria Bernarda de la Esperella.
All right, they are asking to have the bar cleaned here. Clock isn't running, so I believe it was requested by the head judge. So lifters can request to have the bar cleaned. However, it will use their time. But if the judge requests the bar cleaned, it doesn't obviously run on anyone's time. And then going into the third deadlifts, once we hit that, the bar will be cleaned after every single attempt. You don't want chalk or baby powder on the bar. Chalk could make it grip to your thighs weird, and baby powder could be where your hand placement goes, and then you're just going to lose grip. Two of them work in opposite ways. Nice and easy second here for Alicia. 3 white lights. Alexa Matthews coming out next, 157.5. Bar is loaded.
Bar's ready, Alexa.
347 pounds here. Coming out, ready to go, making sure her placement's good.
Bar's ready, Ainsley Breckenridge. 160 kilos on the bar.
And easy pull there, 3 whites.
Alexa with 3 whites on 1. How about Sydney Wilson on 1 coming up?
Sydney Wilson coming out with 170 for her second. Sydney has only missed 1 lift so far, so she would be, assuming she gets this, she will be 7 for 8, which is a great feeling going into your final deadlifts.
Bar's ready on 1, lift is good on 2.
Sydney taking her time to get nice and set up. Taking her time to sit into it tight here. As a sumo puller, you really got to take your time making sure you're set up nice and good. She still has 25 seconds to start the lift. Plenty of time here, Sid, to take your time. Get nice and set up, nice and ready, nice and fired up, ready to go. And just like that, 3 white lights. Now we have Abby. Provincial record for deadlift is currently 173 here in Newfoundland. Abby is going 172.5. If she gets this, she can claim that record then on her third. Taking her time, making sure she gets set up. Again, this is her second deadlift, so, and if she gets this, she will be 8 for 8, which is a wonderful feeling going into last deadlifts. This will also move her up to second.
Come on, Abby. Way to go, Abby. Way to go.
3 white lights for Abby. She moves into second place. 422.5 total. Michelle Dye coming out for 175, 385.5 pounds, 385.8 pounds. Sorry.
Michelle Bar's ready on platform 1. Here she comes. 175 kilos. Bar's ready for Julianne. Platform 2.
The only thing to pay attention to here on the deadlift is making sure you get that down command from the head ref. You have to hold it long enough. 3 white lights for Michelle. So now that we are moving into the third deadlift, so we will be cleaning, or the spotters and loaders, sorry, we'll be cleaning the bar after every single attempt. Sorry, we're not started the thirds yet. There's still Veronique coming in with 182, so she is taking 402 pounds for her second here. I repeat, that is 402 pounds as a 66. This is almost 3 times her body weight. And she makes it look easy with the nod there. 3 white lights. All right, now moving into our third attempts. As I just said, the spotters will be cleaning the bar after every single attempt. Changing out the weights there, getting ready for the third attempt. Alexandra starting us off here, 150 kilos.
3.3 times her body weight. Platform 2. 3.3. The bar's ready for Alexandra Kitson. Bar's ready for Neha on 2.
And an easy lift there for Alexandra. Oh, she got 2 whites and a red. They believe there was a supporting call there.
No lift on 2. Bar's ready for loads on 1.
And a nice easy pull there for Rose.
For Rose, here comes Sarah Croft. Then Noemi. Platform 1. Platform 2, loaded bar for
Sarah Croft up next, 150 kilos, 330.7 pounds, 20 pounds off of her PR.
150 kilos.
However, looking at her history of deadlifts here, that appears like it may have, that 150 may have been pulled at a different, or that 170 may have been pulled at a different weight class. And an easy pull there. Good fight. Slow returning it. Grabbing her leg there. Looks like she may have done something to her quad. Not sure though. She may have it may just be tired from the day she has had. Naomi now looking to move up 3 positions. Pulling 155. Looking to move up to 7th with this pull. Naomi's also been hitting every lift so far. If she hits this, she will be the first lifter in this flight to go 9 for 9. And a nice, easy pull there. 3 white lights. Super nonchalant as she walks off the platform there. Alicia, Alexa, Sydney, next 3 lifters. Alicia up 10 kilos from her last attempt.
Bar's ready on 1. Bar's ready on 2. Kiera. Come on, Alicia.
As you may hear in the background, we also have Gino back on the mic, doing all the emceeing for the day. This will tie Alicia's best deadlift. And easy. 3 white lights. Alexa looking to move up to 5th now with her last pull. This will give her a 7.5 kilo PR on her deadlift, and also total PR her total by 15 kilos.
Then Sydney, then Michelle. The bar is ready for
And a big finish here for Alexa. 3 white lights. Big, strong finish there for Alexa. Our final 4 lifters of the day are our top 4 lifters currently. Sydney Wilson, Abby Hanrahan, Michelle Dye, and Veronique Doré. All fighting it out now for that podium position.
Bars ready for Sydney on 1. Maria.
A lot of people here will be pulling what they can or trying to force their opponent into a spot where they will miss their last pull. Trying to secure that podium position and secure a position in Junior Worlds. Sydney here with 172.380. Taking her time to get set up. She still does have 20 seconds left. And she fights it. She fights for that lock. She locks it out. She gets the down command. 3 white lights. Super excited and fired up. Fist bumping the head judges there. Hugging her coach. A lot of people put a lot of work in to get here. Here comes Abby, 177.5, looking to claim the provincial record of 173 and hopefully lock down her position here in 2nd. The crowd is getting fired up for Abby. A lot of friends, a lot of family here. Abby is from Newfoundland, so she does have a lot of friends and family able to cheer for her here. Let's go, Abby. Give it everything. And it breaks the floor. She gets it to her knees. She just has to lock it back. She gets the down command. 3 white lights for Abby. And a new provincial record.
Michelle is looking to remove Sydney from the bronze medal position.
Michelle here looking to pull for bronze.
She's looking to tie her 3-minute total to Sydney, but she'll get bars loaded. She'll get the bronze medal on body.
If Michelle pulls this, she will tie Sydney's total. However, she will win on body weight. She is almost 1.5 kilos lighter if she is able to get this. This will be a 30 kilo total PR, 20 kilo deadlift PR. And as I said, it will move her into 3rd for the bronze medal. Bar was a little wobbly. Let's see what the judges say. 2-1. 2-1.
She is. Help her up, coach. Help her up. She is beside herself. Wow.
Our final poll now for the women already has first lockdown Veronique, but she is going now for what would be a provincial total record for Ontario. That would put her at 445 total. The record currently 438, so a big jump.
Attempt change. No more changes. Lift into the next flight on platform 2. No more changes to your openers.
And a big pull, big fight. No good. Unfortunately, she did get a supporting call there for supporting the bar on her thighs. She did, however, have first already locked down, so it was just a shot for a 190. Spotters and loaders now going to strip the bar. Not strip the bar, but change out the bar. Change the weight down to 220 kilos for Francis Dubois to open up the first flight of men's deadlifts.
For the bronze medal win by 2.5 kilos. Bars ready, says Jordan. This is a bronze medal pull.
Once again, back to the top of the order now. Everyone does need to get their first deadlifts in to be able to proceed into the competition.
She's pulling for the bronze medal by 2.5 kilos.
Francis Dubois here, one of only 3 men who are going into deadlifts, 6 for 6. Giving him an advantage off the bat that he doesn't have to make up for kilos that other people lost on missed attempts. Some huge battles going on over on platform 2 as well.
By 1 kilo. Neha's got 420 kilo total. Michaela's looking to take it to 421. Bars ready, says Jordan. Give me a round of applause for Michaela Best. Look at her stack set.
And nice and easy pull there for Alejandro. 3 white lights.
Give her a round of applause.
Carl here opening up with 245, 540 pounds.
All right, here goes Leon, open. 3.3 times her body weight. And Carl
Easy, fast opener.
is good now. Here comes Jacobo. Then Reed. Then Wilson. Bars ready, Jacobo.
Jacobo Leon up next. Then we have Dylan Reed, Owen Wilson.
All right, he wants to roll down to the divot. All right, now. Bars ready, Neha, but give her a round of applause for her gold medal with here. Oh, very easy for Jacobo.
Nice and easy pull there.
All right, here comes Reed's lift. Bars ready on 1.
Dylan Reed coming out fired up. Nice and easy pull there for his first. Owen Wilson coming out 265.73. Provincial record for Alberta and the national record are actually the same at 350 kilos right now. We've yet to see any record chips this whole session. Will we see some later within the men's deadlifts? And a good opener here for Owen. 3 weight lights. I will say at the Sheridan here, the crowds are starting to fill in. It is starting to become a packed venue. If you are planning to come down to watch any of the sessions today, now might be your time. Seats are starting to fill up, people. Free admission. Just try and remember to bring a non-perishable food item to the food bank. Later up today, we have Open Women's 69 to 76B Classic and Men's Equipped. That is both happening at 1:30 today. And then this evening, we have Open Women 69 to 76, again, the A group, as well as Junior Men 93 and Open Men 105. This evening, starting at 5. If you plan on coming down for either of those sessions, like I said, try and get down here soon. Spots are starting to fill up. In the meantime, we have Samuel Marchand coming out here, 265 for an opener, 584. Just 2.5 kilos off this personal best.
265 kilo opener for Samuel. And Samuel makes me see out of that. He gets through, I love. So
It makes it nice and easy there. Again, podium positions are moving here. However, we do have the fact that there are 2 flights of men here, so they won't all be accurate podiums. For example, Olivier Baldock and Kim Fan are in the second flight, so while they are at the bottom, there is still plenty of time yet.
Here comes
Francis Dubois coming out here, 237.5 opener. Sorry, second attempt.
And Francis gets 3 white lights. We're up to Alejandro, then Reese, then Carl.
Francis looking to go 9 for 9 here. 8 lifts so far. See what he puts in for his 3rd deadlift. Will he go 9 for 9? And like I said, be one of only potentially 3 men to go 9 for 9 in this session. Alejandro coming out 245. 10 kilos up from his last 540. Nice and snappy there on the pull. 3 white lights.
3 white lights.
Loading the bar up to 260 now for Dylan Reed.
Bars ready for Reed's lift. 260 kilos.
Dylan Reed coming out nice and fired up. 260. 2.5 kilo PR.
Nice and slow, rolls back the shoulders.
3 white lights, good lift.
Bars ready, Carl.
Karl Pavsik here. rubbing off the bar with his forearms. Must have seen something there on the center bit where he plans on gripping. Didn't know if it was shock or baby powder and didn't want to risk it. And a good pull. Shaking off his hands a little bit there. These are new Alicos. Well, they were new Alico bars at the beginning of the week. They're after taking some dings. They've taken some hits. It's been a long week on these bars. However, they are still fairly new bars, meaning that knurling does bite. Bar is being cleaned off here now. Again, time isn't running. I believe this was at the request of the head ref. Owen coming out here, 10 kilo PR here, 15 kilos up from his last attempt. He's looking at the bar. He is ready to go. Fired up. £275, 606 or 275 kilos, 606 pounds, 5 red plates and a collar.
275 on the bar for Owen.
And a big pull there for Owen. Nice and easy, waiting on the lights. 3 white lights there. Slow walk off on the platform, though he looks a little gassed. We'll see what he puts in for his next. Samuel Marchand coming out next, 280. This will push his total up to 702 if successful. Nova Scotia's current total record is 690, so he's looking to claim that.
The bar is ready for Samuel.
As you can see as well, the podium positionings for the provinces have changed. That is due to another session cluing up. More points and everything being entered and shifting it around. Once again, the points per province is calculated by the GL points of all the lifters. It's the average GL points of all of the lifters in that province who have competed so far. Let's see with Samuel. 3 white lights. Double overhand hook. Putting a lot of pressure there on his thumbs, but still getting it. And just as I bring up the fact that the positionings change for province, it changes again. Alberta is now back in the lead. Jacobo coming out now. This is 3.5 times his body weight, 285 kilos, 628 pounds. Getting ready here for a big pull. And this is only his second attempt here. And a big pull. 3 white lights, and there is a lot of strength left there yet for him to keep going. Back up to the top of the order now. Francis Dubois coming out with 252.5, 556.7 pounds. These are some strong lifts. Keep in mind, these are juniors, everybody, 83 kilo juniors. So all these lifters are between 19 and 23.
All right, so we got Francois coming up. Bars ready. Then we have Alejandro. Then we have Reed's lift. And then after that comes Glenn Powell.
Here comes Francis.
And then Zoe.
And he just couldn't get the shoulders back there. Three red lights, unfortunately. Cleaning the bar off. Again, as we are on the last attempts, they will have to clean the bar after every attempt.
Bars ready, Alejandro.
Lots of handlers and coaches hanging around the scoring table, as you can see here. Owen Wilson's third deadlift has been decreased. Lots of attempt changes being made here. Lots of people making changes, trying to pull for podium. Again, it is hard to pull for podium as these lifters and as these coaches to plan for podium. Alejandro, no lift, unfortunately. It is hard for these lifters to pull for podium with another flight of strong lifters ahead. You just have to secure what you can. Samuel Marchand has upped his third deadlift from 282.5 to 290. This is what I mean. You get to the point now where people are changing their lifts to try and pull for position. You want to do the best. You want to have the best position you can have. Jacobo has increased his from 285 to 305, upping it by another 20 kilos. Dylan Reed, love watching this guy come out. He always comes out fired up. He is ready to go. And unfortunately, no lift. Love the energy he came out with, though. Karl Pavsik, 272.5, 600 pounds here, ladies and gentlemen. Looking to really lock down his second position before the other 7 guys have a chance to go. Really wants to secure this spot.
Bars ready, one.
Come on, Carl. Carl hails from Quebec. Plenty of French screaming in the crowd happening right now. £600 here once again, ladies and gentlemen, for Carl. Unfortunately, no lift.
No more changes.
No more changes can be made to attempts. What attempts are on here? Sorry, no more changes for Platform 1 openers. So let's see what we have coming up. Our final 3 lifters, we have Owen, Samuel, and Jacobo. 280 for Owen. I believe it's 280 for Owen, 290 for Samuel, and 305 for Jacobo. Got some exciting deadlifts here coming up, folks. 617 pounds. 617 pounds here for Owen. This is up 5 kilos from his last attempt. And he looked pretty fatigued walking off after his last attempt. So let's see how this one goes. Coach screaming, don't stop pulling. That's important with the deadlift. If the bar isn't going down, it's still considered a good lift, and you have to stick with it. And unfortunately, it is no lift. Going to go up, show some sportsmanship, shake all of the judges' hands. So show some love to you guys there on the stream.
Samuel.
Bar is being brushed for Samuel. 290. This will be 22.5 kilo PR. This will be a Nova Scotia deadlift record. This will be a Nova Scotia total record. Up 10 kilos from his last. 290, 639 pounds. Looking to total 712 and a half. However, Samuel has missed both of his other thirds. No one so far in this fight has hit their third deadlift. Samuel still currently in the lead, though. And loses some grip there on the bar, unfortunately. Now loading the bar up to 305 kilos. 305 kilos. A 20 kilo jump off of his last attempt. 3.7 times his body weight. 10 kilo PR. 305 kilos. 672.4 pounds. Crowd is getting fired up. They are behind him. The crowd is fired up. They are ready for this pull. And he pulls it. He gets it to the knees. He gets the shoulders back. Head ref gives him a down command. 3 white lights. 305 kilograms. All right, give the screen a second to refresh so we could see who is next. Karl Pavsik's third was also overturned into a good lift, making both of them the only ones to hit their third deadlifts.
The bar is ready for Oliver.
Karl Pavsik also the only one to go 9 for 9.
Then Lorenz, then Bo. First we have Oliver from Quebec. 3 white lights.
Easy opener pull for Olivier. As you can see there on the side of the stream, there will be a lot of jumps right now in placings. As I've said before, these guys haven't had a chance to go. They have no deadlifts in so far.
Look at the quads on this guy.
Laurent is here ready to go. Taking his time, getting nice and set up on the bar. Easy opener. Bo's opener looking to move him 9 positions here on the podium. Looking to bump him all the way up to, I believe this will put him in second, just on his opener pull, 270.
Bars ready, Bo.
Put him at 670. That'll put him in 4th, I believe. Again, my math could be completely wrong. 270, 595 pounds. Let's go, Bo. 3 weights.
3 white lights.
Claude coming out now with 275.95. Same weight as Bo. So the spotter and loaders are just going to have to retighten the collars. Same as for the next one. Leroy is going to take the same weight. Yep. Nice and easy there for Claude.
Yes. 3 whites. Here comes Leroy, or is it Leroy? After Leroy comes Kimmy, then Camille, then Zachary Powell. Bars ready for Leroy.
Bars ready for Leroy. 270 again. Easy pull.
3 white lights.
Keeping fun coming out next. 280. Second last lifter to need to get his opener in now. Once again, all lifters just needing to get their openers in to stay on board.
The bars ready for
Bars loaded.
bars ready. Kimmy.
Coming out here, nice and focused.
Very excited to be here.
Nice and dialed in, cool, calm, collected. Not everybody has to explode at the bar. Not everybody benefits from it. Sometimes you just need to be as locked in here as King Fan is. Taking his time, getting everything nice and set up. Making sure everything's nice and loose going into this pull.
Well, that was easy.
And an absolutely easy pull. 3 white lights there. Camilo, last person now to get their opener in, starting at 282.5. This will give him the Nova Scotia total record just on his opener. 3.4 times his body weight, 623 pounds.
3.5, but Ron would have corrected me. It's 3.4. Bars ready. Camilo.
Camilo, last pull of the first deadlifts, Flight C, CANPL Nationals, Day 5, Session 1, Platform 1. And he gets his opener. Everyone is now in, everyone is on the board, and now the fun begins. Seems like it's not going through. Just waiting on confirmation that it is a good lift. Refs are going to go to cards by the look of 3 white lights. Moves him up to third.
All right, Oliver. 240 kilos on the bar. Bar's ready.
Olivier coming out now. 240, 20 kilo jump from his previous. No lift. Curious of what happened there. He seemed to have a little bit of a limp going off. Once again, the national record for deadlifts here is 350 kilos. Yet to see record chips this stream. Will we see them? Only one way to find out. Stay tuned, everybody. Again, this is our last group for this session for the morning. Nice bit of a break then. Nice easy pull there for Bo. No lift. Side spotters called him for supporting the bar. After this, we will have after this session, we do have the women's 69-76 B group at 1:30 on this platform. Men's equipped over on platform 2. Be sure to stick around, stay tuned for those. And again, if you're in the city, there's no better spot to watch than here in person. The crowd getting fired up for Laurent. He will have a Quebec total record if he hits this. .728, the current total record. And I believe his total record. Taking his time to get nice and fired up, getting the slack out of the bar, getting the slack out of himself. Quick pull. 3 white lights. I'd like to take one last moment to thank our sponsors, SBD Canada, Transparent Labs, Inner Strength Products, the NLPA, the CANPL, Newfoundland and Labrador government, the Canadian government, Alico, and the Sheridan Hotel, who are here hosting us. All right, next up we have Claude coming out with 290 kilos, 639.3 pounds. Crowd's getting nice and fired up here. Everyone's getting nice and ready. Lots of excitement, lots of energy here in the building today, folks. And 3 white lights there.
Susan's gonna miss her flight.
Bar is loaded for Leroy. 290 kilos. Once again, 639.3 pounds. Gets to pull after since he has a later lot number. And the weight was the exact same. This will move him 3 positions up into 4th. Three white lights. Everybody's asking for the bar to be scrubbed. Lots of baby powder on the go right now. As you can see it coming off that bar as they're cleaning it. Once again, a thank you to all of our spotters and loaders here today. Keeping lifters safe, keeping the meet running smoothly.
All ready? Now.
295 kilos, 650 pounds even, 15 kilos up from his last attempt. This would tie his PR. All right, last lifter for round 2 of deadlifts is Camilo, who is going for 300 kilos. This will give him the Nova Scotia total record, as well as giving him the Nova Scotia deadlift record. 661 pounds, 3.5 times his body weight.
Over 3.5 times his body weight. This is Camilo.
Laurent has increased his last deadlift from 287 to 290. Here's where you're going to see that. You're going to see people moving for positioning. You're going to see people moving to do whatever they need. So Laurent is likely trying to push Keeping Fun into making a play where he cannot lift it. They are pretty close, within 10 kilos. Being within 10 kilos of somebody on deadlifts is not a lot. Camilo here, 300 kilos. And 3 white lights. Olivier now with 240. Moving into our last batch of deadlifts. Our last 7 deadlifts of the day, folks. Before we move into women's 3 lift, once again, same platform. Day 5, session 2, platform 1. If you are looking to check that one out, I will not be commentating. I will be spotting and loading. However, there will be somebody here commentating. Also, platform 2, we have the 105, or sorry, not the 105s. We have all men's equipped. Some big weights going to be moved over there as well. Olivier coming out with 240, reattempting his second here.
All right, these are the final polls. And we got 3 lifters up there that are all forecasted to finish up at 752.5. 3 of them all looking to finish at 752.5 kilos, which would put Laurent in first place, given that he is the lightest of the 3 by a half a kilo.
So it does seem like Olivier timed out there. Multiple lifters here projected to end at 752.5. Assuming that it comes down to that, it will come down to body weight, which currently Laurent will finish on body weight. Claude has increased from 307 to 325. Here comes Bo, 282.5 reattempt. And unfortunately, it just wasn't there. We are now back to Laurent, who is our first one projected to end at 7:25.5. Or 7:52.5, sorry. He is first place right now on body weight, assuming everyone does hit their totals and it does come down to everyone having 7:52.5. Laurent will win on body weight. He is currently in the lead anyway with 7:45.
His final pull will take him to 7:52.5 kilos.
This will also be a 30 kilo. Sorry, this will be 20 kilos added to the Quebec total record. Laurent, nice and fired up here. Crowd getting behind him, potentially pulling for the win here. Big pull, nice and strong, gets the down command. 3 white lights. So now if anyone wants to win this flight, they have to lift more than 7:52.5. So here is where you're going to see people coming in for attempt changes. People are going to be doing the math to see what they need, excuse me, to come out on top here. Because 7:52 is no longer a winning total with Laurent having it. Kim Fan has increased by 2.5 kilos, 312 to 315. Again, you're going to see a lot of people doing that now. A lot of people are going to be trying for 7:55. They need it to win. Laurent has that body weight advantage. Camilo decreased from 325 to 320. We have Leroy here, 310. 683. And unfortunately, it's not there today.
All right, Fan turned in a change. He's the heavier welter. He turned in a change to take it up 2.5 kilos.
Kim Fan coming in for 7:55 total attempt. 315 kilos, 694.5 pounds here, folks.
And then I'm sure Camilo's coach is waiting in the wings to make a change. Bars ready. There comes a change.
Camilo has put in a change up to 330. Going for 7:57. They are assuming that he hits here. If he doesn't hit here again, they may drop it down and shoot for a 7:55 total.
Into the goal level position.
315, folks. 694.5. Kim Fan looking to pull for the win here.
Let's go.
Fortunately, no lift. Spotter's checking to make sure he is okay. See if he passed out there or just lost balance. As you can see behind the spotters and loaders there behind the screen, there are plenty of coaches out here watching. There is a lot on the line. Plenty of people here trying to figure out placements and figure out who's going to win. A lot of lifting on the line here, as I said, folks. We have Claude, and then we have Camilo pulling for the win. Camilo already has put in a change. He cannot go down. He has to shoot for 7:57. He could win with 7:55, but again, due to that change, he cannot go for it. Claude coming out for a pull. This will be a Quebec provincial record and a Quebec provincial record for both the total and the deadlift. 625 kilos, 716.5 pounds. crowd is getting fired up. They are ready. This will give him a 730 total and put him in third. And unfortunately, no lift. 3 red lights, sorry. Camilo now pulling for the win. He already has the Nova Scotia records for total and deadlift from today. He's claimed both. 330 kilos on the bar. 727.5 pounds. Looking to total 757.5 kilos. We got Gino on the platform. He's ready. He's fired up. Spotters and loaders cleaning the bar, making sure it's not in any of those divots in the platform. Platforms have taken a beating over the past couple days. Gino hyping up the crowd. Camilo pulling for the win here, folks. Almost 4 times his body weight. He's locked in. He's getting dialed in. And it breaks the floor. But unfortunately, no lift. He does still podium, however, that does give him a 3rd place position.
And that is it for this session. Winner of the women's flight, Veronica. 2nd place, Abby. 3rd place, Michelle. Abby and Michelle, both 9 for 9. For men, Laurent, Kimingfan, Camilo, and Camilo.
Current standings by province, Quebec is in 1st with 82.89 GL points. Then New Brunswick, Alberta, and Ontario. British Columbia rounding out the top 5. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on stream today. Like I said, we have some women's lifting on platform 1 coming up at 1:30, and we have men's equipped over on platform 2. Make sure to check back on the CANPL channel for those streams.